Greetings, fellow Family Cafe families, and welcome to A Caregiver's Guide to Managing Relationships, presented by Willie and Lakeisha Hines, founders of Support for Caregivers. We would like to thank you so much for taking the time to watch our presentation. We hope that it is insightful and that you walk away with some very useful tips for yourself and others. We'd like to start by introducing ourselves. My name is Lakeisha Hines, and I'm a wife and mother of four, one of which has special needs. He was born completely healthy with no medical issues at all, but contracted bacterial meningitis at 5.5 months old. He suffered from strokes and multiple seizures, and as a result of the meningitis, had severe brain damage. I'm a certified professional life coach. I teach psychology at a local college in my area, and I am the co-founder of a wonderful family-run nonprofit organization called Support for Caregivers.
My name is Willie Hines. I will have to say my part-time job, where I am at 40 plus hours a week, is in the mortgage division of USAA. My full-time job is being a husband of Lakeisha and a father of four, as she stated, with one of our children with special needs, with contracted meningitis, and just a joy to have.
So for our presentation, we have three main objectives that we intend to cover. They are to describe the 3 C's of managing relationships, explaining how stress impacts relationships, and identifying ways to improve relationships.
The 3 C's of managing relationships are communication, commitment, and connection. As you can see in the Venn diagram, the C's are overlapping as they are connected with one another.
As we move forward, we will identify how communication, commitment, and connection are all connected.
If someone was to ask you how good are your communication skills, what would you say? Don't think too long. That's what I figured. You think your communication skills are great. Well, let's put it to the test. If you would visit www.mindtools.com and take a short quiz, it'll show you how great your communication skills are.
Once you go to the website, click on communication skills and then click on how good are your communication skills. There should be a 15-question survey. Answer as honestly and as accurately as possible. Once you've answered all 15 questions, please click on calculate my total, and then you can read your score interpretation. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the interpretation of your score. If you receive 15 to 35 points, according to the survey, you need to keep working on your communication skills. You're not expressing yourself clearly, and you may not be receiving messages correctly either. By paying close attention to the way in which you communicate, you can improve your effectiveness and enjoy better relationships.
Let's say your score was from 36 to 55. You're a capable communicator, but you sometimes experience communication problems. Take the time to think about your approach to communication and focus on receiving messages effectively as much as sending them. This will help you to improve your ability to communicate.
All right, so all of you high scorers out there, if you receive 56 to 75 points, that is awesome. You understand your role as a communicator, both when you send messages and when you receive them. You anticipate problems and you choose the right channel to communicate. People definitely respect you for your ability to communicate clearly, and they appreciate your listening skills. Now that you know what type of communicator you are, we like to dig a little bit deeper and discuss how poor communication and effective communication affects individuals as well as relationships. We found an awesome quote by Liz Papadopoulos that we'd like to share with you. Effective communication requires more than an exchange of information. When done right, communication fosters understanding, strengthens relationships, improves teamwork, and builds trust.
On the contrary, poor communication can lead to misunderstandings, distrust, strained relationships, and in extreme situations, the dissolution of relationships.
There are many different types of communication, but the three that we will explore are poor, nonverbal, and good or excellent. In the next few slides, you will see three different videos. While you're looking at the videos, I want you to think about which type of communication you think each video represents. Is it poor, nonverbal, or good? After each video plays, think about why or why didn't the following occur: understanding, strengthening of the relationship, improve teamwork, or building trust.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I talked with you, I know, the other day, but I just wanted to touch base today, about your stuff, your situation. So I read your chart, and I know we talked last time. Are you still feeling depressed?
Yeah.
Depression's okay. Depression. And I know you're feeling depressed now, but I felt depressed before, and it will pass. Like, you'll get over it. It's not that big of a deal. And so this depression, why are you feeling depressed?
Well,
Oh, wait, sorry, I had another note. Something else I wanted to ask you before. No, why, or is that depression what brought you in here?
Well, I OD'd earlier because I was
Depressed?
really sad.
Yeah. Okay, so that overdose, we'll have to talk about. So then why are you feeling depressed?
Well, I was abused earlier. I just don't.
I mean, your life
I
doesn't.
feel it.
I looked in your chart, and your life doesn't seem all that bad. So this depression, I think you can get over it. Yeah. Let me look at my notes here. I know we saw some stuff. Oh, hey. Yeah. Can I talk to you later? I'm gonna finish talking to her. Okay. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Let me look at my notes here. You got the abuse, the overdose. So can we talk about these thoughts? Oh, that area. Do you want to? Are you still having those thoughts?
No.
No. Okay, then great. No thoughts, because I know. I mean, if you're having them, it's kind of like. Why I don't understand why people think of like killing themselves. It's really very weak of them to do. Personally. But anywho's, oh, hold on a second. Hello? No, I'm at work right now. Yeah. You know at Belmont? Yeah. I'm gonna talk with this patient here. Yeah. And I'll call you back. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. Anywho, so let me look at my notes. But so you, those thoughts we were saying, what were you saying about those? Did you have them? I forget.
Well, no.
Okay, that's great. I'm glad. So are you feeling better then?
I guess a little.
Yeah. So what do you think has worked in your therapy?
I like talking to the therapist.
One-on-one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, do you want me to see if your doctor's available? I can
Yeah.
totally arrange that. Okay, I'm gonna go check that then right now.
Okay.
In the first video, the communication was poor. The woman portraying the nurse did not allow the patient to speak. She did not listen. So there was a true lack of understanding because the nurse never took the time to listen to the patient. In order for communication to be effective, one has to listen while the other person speaks. There was no strengthening of the relationship. The nurse did not establish rapport. She did not seem to care about what was going on with the patient. And she just seemed overall too busy, too distracted, and just not involved in truly what was going on with the patient. There was no improved teamwork. She did not communicate with the doctor beforehand to ensure that the doctor would be available in case the patient did want to speak to him or her. There was no collaboration. And the nurse seemed to be more interested in answering her phone and gaining the attention of colleagues, and really just seemed to want to just get through the assessment. There was no building of trust. In order for trust to be built, individuals must be committed, they must be consistent, and they must do what they say that they're going to do it when they do it. There's an understanding in this particular setting that the nurse would be caring and compassionate, that she would be kind, that she would listen and get her the appropriate care that she needed. None of the above took place.
Ooh, hello.
So, in the second video, this type of communication was an example of non-verbal communication. So funny. Everybody loves Frozen, right? Well, not really. Kids love Frozen. So, in this video, um, Sven was actually just trying to be helpful, but somebody thought that their nose was going to be eaten. So, there was definitely a lack of understanding. And when people do not communicate, that's what happens many times, that there's a lack of understanding. He thought Sven was trying to eat his carrot, and actually, all he was trying to do was help him to get it back. There was strengthening of the relationship after the fact when it was realized that, he's really not going to eat my nose. And there was improved teamwork, hopefully, going forward. Uh, Now, after the carrot was retrieved, and then the next uh, item that took place was that the head popped off. So now there's trust established that you will not eat my nose. You actually are trying to help me. And so I'm sure that had the video continued, we would have seen the two of them working together to try to get his head back on. And again, with building trust, it requires consistency, and it requires again, people showing up and doing what they said that they're going to do, and just caring for each other, um, loving each other, treating people the way that we desire to be treated. So this was, again, a really good example of nonverbal communication. Okay, so even if you weren't sure, through process of elimination, you have to know that the third video was an example of good or excellent communication. There was something else that was actually brought out in this video for me with looking at it. We talked about poor communication, and another way to word poor communication is non-effective communication. That was definitely the example with the first two animals that went to go and ask Bear if they were on his list. Their communication was not effective because it got them on a billboard or a sign that said eaten. Those of you who took the communication survey at the beginning of the presentation and you scored between a 36 and 55, this is a good opportunity for you to stop and take note to this video and this example of good or excellent communication. Clearly, the first two animals did not take the time to think about their approach to communication. They didn't focus on um, sending their message as well as they did receiving the information. Clearly, they were guided by fear, and that caused them to react without thinking and taking the time to just organize their thoughts and execute a plan, come up with a strategy for how they could save their lives. um, so, in terms of understanding, there definitely was a understanding established between Rabbit and Bear as Rabbit went and just simply asked the bear, "Man, am I on your list?" Bear said yes. He said, "Hey, can you take me off?" And Bear said yes. So Rabbit took the time to think about his approach, and he focused as much on sending the message as he did receiving the message. This was great, great, great communication. Their relationship was strengthened because Bear let him hop away. He didn't eat him. I don't know so much about improved teamwork, but definitely if they did have to work together or collaborate together, they know now that they can communicate effectively. So I guess that would help. And there definitely was trust built because, again, Bear allowed Rabbit to hop away and live to tell the story. So, again, just a really good example of communication when it works. And I'll share a quote that was provided by the makers of this video, or at least the ones who shared the video, Seven Guru and Repute. Precise communication at the right time and the right place is a guarantee for success. And this definitely was success for Rabbit. We can all take note and learn from him. So the next C in managing relationships is commitment. We wanted to share this quote from muscleforlife.com. Commitment means staying loyal to what you said you were going to do long after the mood you said it in has left you.
So I'll say for myself, I oftentimes say I'm committed to working out. But based on this definition, I have not been committed to working out. Because in the moment, or the week, or the month, I work out a lot. And then after that, it starts to die down. And that seems to have been my life. So I have to drum up my commitment to working out so that when the mood has left me, I still am in the mood to work out.
We have to communicate to ourselves what commitment means to us as individuals, how commitment looks to us as individuals, why are we committing, and who are we committing to. So, in the example that Willie shared about working out, commitment means following through, sticking with it, hanging in there, even after you don't feel like doing it, specifically when you don't feel like doing it. How does commitment look? It looks like continuing to do what you said you were going to do. And why are you committing to working out?
I want to be as healthy as I can be. I have a great goal to meet. I want to lose some weight. But if I don't remain committed, I won't be able to achieve any of those goals.
And who are you committing to? In the example that he shared, he's making a commitment to himself. So think about what commitment means to you, how commitment looks to you, why you're communicating, and who you're committing to. All right, so we discussed what commitment actually looks like. What happens when there's a non committal relationship? There are minimal to no expectations, no future plans, and each person makes their own plans.
So, as it comes to the success of the relationship, both persons may indeed be committed to having a sustainable, successful relationship, but may want to go about it their different ways, may be conflicting, or it may be conflicting with the ways they're going. So it's very important that not only being committed to the overall success of the relationship, but also flexible and understanding with each person's individual thoughts of what that success looks like or how we get there. So again, non-committal relationships definitely have minimal to no expectations. Um, and each person kind of has their own view and own plan of how to sustain and manage that successful relationship.
In an article called Is Commitment Necessary? It is stated that commitment is the glue. You want a strong relationship, one that can withstand the ups and downs, you need commitment. Just as Willie shared before about his commitment to exercise and lose weight. When you truly commit, you become unstoppable. When you commit, you direct your intention and therefore your energy to the success of a goal. And in a relationship, it's a shared goal, creating and living your shared vision. So, the third and last C in managing relationships is connection. I share this quote by Brene Brown. I define connection as the energy that exists between people when they feel seen, heard, and valued, when they can give and receive without judgment, and when they derive sustenance and strength from the relationship. I cannot stress enough how much people have such a strong desire to feel seen, to feel heard, and feel valued. Many of the disagreements, misunderstandings, arguments occur because someone doesn't feel seen or heard or valued. People want to receive and give without judgment. They want to derive sustenance from the relationship and derive strength from the relationship as well.
Additionally, the word I can use is important. Everybody wants to feel important and that their thoughts and feelings are important as well, even if the other person in the relationship does not necessarily agree with them. So it definitely takes an open mind to receive the words that a partner is sharing in efforts to feel important and that my opinions matter.
When there's no connection, you and your partner are like two ships passing in the night. Roommates, paying bills together, raising children together, but going in two separate directions. No vision, no goals. Relationships fail because of commitment issues, communication issues, and or connection issues.
All components are equally important to sustaining a healthy and thriving relationship.
If there's just one missing, it makes it very difficult for both parties to be happy in the relationship. No one wants to feel as if they are giving and not receiving. No one wants to feel as if they are not heard. You definitely want a soft place to land when you do communicate. And you definitely want to have a deep connection with the person with whom you're in relationship with. Think back on a time when there was an issue in one of your relationships. Can you identify whether there was an issue with communication, commitment, or connection? I bet you can if you think long and hard about it. I'm sure one or more of these factors is the reason why there was an issue.
As you look at different things, there may be some items on the surface, but you want to get to the root cause of it. And as you do, be honest with yourself and the person that you're in a relationship with of any kind to determine if the issue or the strife is in one of those three buckets: communication, commitment, and or connection.
How does stress impact relationships? In a study done by the University of Nevada, not dealing with stress can create a negative cycle where partners catch each other's stress. This is so true for me. I know that when I am stressed out, my patience is super thin, and I'm very quick, unfortunately, to take my stress out on either my kids or my husband. It is extremely important for me to manage my stress before I have to engage in any type of conversation with my kids or with my husband or friends or anybody else for that matter. Being stressed out can lead to difficulty in the other person understanding where I'm coming from because I'm not doing a good job communicating what it is that I'm going through or even requesting the type of support that I need from that individual.
One thing that impacts me the most in being completely transparent is to bottle up or keep stress to oneself. That is me in a nutshell. That's something that I've had to work on greatly over the years. I heard this acronym as I've been told that men always say that we're fine. What fine means is feelings inside never expressed. So, um, my greatest opportunity to ensure that I communicate well and have the appropriate commitment uh, to my wife or the children or anybody I'm in a relationship is ensure that I do not keep those items bottled up and make sure I'm able to communicate them or my stresses or feelings or thoughts or opinions in an effective manner.
When someone in a relationship does not communicate or they keep their stress to themselves because they just want to try to handle it, they don't want to stress the other person out, or they feel like they're managing it well independently, um, other people involved in the relationship have difficulty understanding what's going on and what they're going through. And then the person who's keeping the stress to themselves, they miss opportunities to receive support. So it's extremely important that we all communicate when we're stressed out and when we need just some time for ourselves or we just need a break or we need a moment. We have to use our words and express ourselves and communicate our wants, needs, and desires.
So we've spoken about ways to improve the relationship, and want to specifically talk to ways to improve the connection within the relationship. You will see a consistent theme um, during this presentation and this slide of ways to improve connection within the relationship. Again, communicate, extremely important. Additionally, make sure you have a committed relationship, that you commit to one another within the relationship. Those two items improve connection.
And as funny as it may seem, in order to improve connection, you have to connect. And what does that look like? You're communicating again, you're committed to the relationship, and you're sharing goals and dreams and desires with the people who you are in relationship with. You're spending quality time together. You're open and honest when you are communicating. And you're selfless. You're putting others before yourself, and always, always, always be willing to serve. There's something about taking the time to cater to someone else, to meet their needs, their wants, their wishes, just making their day. I know for me personally, making my kids' day, making my best friend's day, my husband's day, it just fills me with joy. I get so much fulfillment out of serving them, serving my community and my extended family.
So to all, humble appreciation for you spending time with us and listening to us. And we hope that you're able to incorporate some of these items that we have discussed today into your personal lives to cultivate relationships of all kinds: friends, your spouse, your neighbors, and your children. Thank you so much again. We look forward to seeing you at the next presentation.
Caregivers.org. You can also send us an email and let us know how you felt about our presentation at supportforcaregivers@live.com. You can like us on Facebook. You can also message us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, or tweet us at Support for Caregivers. You may also reach us by phone at 813 850 2352. And lastly, if you're interested in personal life coaching services, you may visit my website at www.ignitedright.org. Finally, Support for Caregivers is a family run nonprofit organization serving the Tampa Bay area and surrounding communities. Support for Caregivers began as a support group, and we still have that support group to this day since 2011. Our remaining support group dates for 2020 are July 18th, September 19th, and November the 14th. We're not 100% sure right now if these meetings will be face to face or virtual, but you can visit our social media platforms for details as we get closer to these dates. Again, thank you for listening to our presentation. We hope to hear from or see you very, very, very soon.